I divorced my husband because he cheated on me 3 years ago with my younger sister. When I received their wedding invitation, it felt like a double betrayal, especially when my mother said she would attend the ceremony. Feeling betrayed by everyone close to me, my mother cryptically added, "I'll do something fun, you just wait and see." Determined to exact my own justice, Idema, who had once trained and guided him at our shared workplace where I was his boss, devised a plan. Initially, he had been nervous and uncertain in his role, but over time, our relationship grew beyond professional. His proposal came after he excelled in his job and won praise from our superiors. Our wedding went smoothly, and even my sister Kate, who had quickly befriended him, praised his kindness and ambition. However, after about a year of marriage, he began arriving home late, avoiding conversations about work, and spending less time with me. Feeling neglected, I suggested a spa getaway, hoping to reconnect. "I've booked a spa trip for us next month," I told him one day, hoping to rekindle our relationship. "Huh. Oh, is that next week?" he replied absent-mindedly. "I forgot to mention, I have to go on a business trip next weekend." "What? But you've known about the spa trip for quite some time." "Well, it's work, so it can't be helped." "I see." Lamb's apartment seemed busier than ever with frequent business trips. It appeared I had no choice but to give up on our spa plans this time as well. As always, Liam left early the next morning for his business trip. If things had gone as planned, we would have been heading to the spa together by now, I thought, feeling disappointed. Just then, the hotel called. Despite my cancellation email, they hadn't received it due to an error and called to confirm our arrival time. That's right, maybe I'll invite Kate, I considered, dialing my parents' house. Unfortunately, Kate had been out all morning and wouldn't be back. As a last resort, I decided to invite my mother to the spa. Compared to my sister, I half expected Mom to decline on such short notice, but to my surprise, she agreed. "Really? Is it okay to leave Dad alone?" I asked. "Right now, I'm more worried about you than your father," she replied, sensing my recent low spirits and deciding to accompany me on the trip. "Thanks, Mom," I said gratefully. "I'm the one who should be thanking you. I'm happy we could take this trip together like this," I told my mother gratefully. It had been a long time since we had enjoyed a trip together. However, upon arriving at the hotel, my mother and I witnessed something shocking. "Mom, look at that," I whispered, pointing discreetly. There, at the hotel entrance, was Liam. He was supposed to be on his business trip, but he appeared happy, arm in arm with another woman as they entered the hotel where we were supposed to stay. "You've got to be kidding," I murmured in disbelief. The woman with Liam turned briefly in our direction. It was Kate, my own sister. After that moment, I was in a state of shock and barely remembered how we got back home. My mother made me some tea, and slowly, my feelings began to calm. He had been deceiving me, I finally realized aloud, feeling betrayed not only by Liam but also by Kate. After regaining my composure, I called Liam's department. As suspected, they hadn't sent him on any recent business trips. In fact, they had been reducing workloads and avoiding overtime for years. When Liam came home late or was supposedly on business trips, Kate wasn't home either. I explained to my mother, who listened quietly. So, all those times he was meeting Kate, I concluded bitterly. Filled with anger rather than sadness, I made a decision. "Mother, I'm going to divorce Liam. I can't bear to see Kate right now, so I won't be visiting the house for a while," I declared firmly. My mother remained silent, understanding my emotions completely. "I'll prepare everything before Liam comes back," I added, determined to take control of the situation. I had already prepared the divorce papers, signed a lease for a new apartment where I could live temporarily before moving into my new house, and packed all my belongings. Leaving Liam's letter along with the divorce papers at our former home, I made it clear that all matters regarding alimony and legalities would be handled by my lawyer, and then proceeded to block all communication from him. To keep my new address confidential, I didn't inform my parents, despite working in the same company where we occasionally crossed paths. Each time, I chose to ignore him completely. Seeing the futility of the situation, Liam quickly agreed to the divorce. He didn't disclose the reasons to our colleagues, but they seemed to sense the situation and respected my privacy, avoiding the topic of our divorce entirely. 3 years passed with me keeping my distance not only from Liam, but also from my family. One evening after returning from work, I found my mother waiting for me in my apartment. "Mom, what's wrong?" I asked, surprised. I have something to tell you, she said quietly, handing me an invitation. This is from Liam and Kate, she explained. It turned out that Kate had left our family home and moved in with Liam. I thought they might get married, but I never expected them to have a wedding ceremony and invite our parents. So, Mom, are you going? I asked hesitantly. Of course I am, she replied calmly. I see. I was the only one who couldn't forgive the two of them yet. Clearly, they must have known, which was why they invited only our parents to the wedding. I felt I had no right to say anything, having distanced myself from both Liam and my parents. Seeing my sadness, my mother smiled reassuringly and said, Don't worry, I'm not going because I forgive them. Just you wait and watch. On the day of the wedding, my mother called me via video. I don't want to see their faces, I murmured, tempted to end the call. But then I recalled my mother's earlier words and stayed connected. The screen displayed a slideshow in progress. The MC began introducing the slides. This slideshow was made by the bride's mother, the MC explained. She gathered photos from her beloved daughter's birth to the present and created this presentation. I was surprised that my mother, who wasn't particularly tech-savvy, had managed to create such a heartfelt slideshow. Yet it stirred up a mix of emotions within me. Mom, you went to this much effort for Kate, I questioned sadly. But in the next moment, I found myself captivated by what appeared on the screen. This isn't Kate, I realized aloud. The slideshow had begun with a photo of me. When she was born, so cute. There's a resemblance, remarked the guests as they watched with a relaxed atmosphere. Kate's expression, however, stiffened as the MC continued. Since she was young, the bride has always been devoted to her family. She was a diligent student who successfully entered her desired university. After starting her job, she became a very reliable employee at the company, the MC narrated. Kate's friends and colleagues, who knew about her student days and workplace, began to buzz with excitement. Hey, isn't that a photo from the welcome party at university? Kate didn't go to such a good university, did she? Wait, isn't that a photo from the company's welcome party? Wait a minute, looking closely, it's completely different. If this isn't Kate. Liam also seemed to have noticed. What the hell is this? This isn't Kate. Unaware of the bride and groom's pale faces, the MC continued advancing the slides. And then she met the groom, Liam, at the company. According to the bride's mother, she initially taught and trained the groom as his instructor. Then the two got married. Photos from Emma's wedding with Liam followed. The MC couldn't hide their confusion. Realizing something was wrong, they fell silent. At that moment, my mother took the stage and grabbed the microphone. From here on, I'll take over and explain, she announced smoothly, advancing the slides. Even after marriage, my daughter supported him both personally and professionally. However, as Liam got busier, he couldn't find time for her, so my daughter planned a spa trip to help relieve his stress. Wait, please, Liam tried to interject, but my mother ignored him, continuing with the slides. The next photo showed them entering the spa hotel together, very close to each other. Finally, photos of the bride and groom appeared, silencing both the MC and the guests. However, Liam and Kate grew even paler. Liam declined the trip planned by my daughter due to a business trip, my mother continued, saying it couldn't be helped that he had to go for work. My daughter invited me to the spa trip, and that's where we witnessed his affair. With those words, everyone started talking and buzzing about what my mother had revealed. An affair? And this wedding is for Kate and Liam, right? Could it be that this wedding is based on their affair? But why would Kate's mother? To answer the guests' questions, my mother continued slowly. Liam swore to marry my beloved daughter Emma and make her happy. Instead, he betrayed her. To make matters worse, he cheated on Emma with her own sister Kate. Mother, stop it already. Today is my wedding day. Why won't you celebrate my happiness? Kate cried out, trying to stop her mother. But my mother coldly looked at Kate and said, I have always wished for your happiness, but you were the one who ruined it first. My mother-in-law's voice was stern. Emma always considered not only herself but also the happiness of her family. What about you, Kate? Have you ever thought about how much Emma would be hurt by your actions? Well, Kate hesitated, looking uncomfortable. She always seems so happy. It's not fair. Instead of being happy for your family, you just got jealous, huh? Mother-in-law, please stop. She is your precious daughter too, right? If that's the case, can't you celebrate our new beginning? Kate pleaded. Why are you doing this? I don't want to become family with someone as dishonest as you. I saw it clearly at today's ceremony. My mother's voice grew more assertive. If you really intend to start something with Kate, why didn't you invite a single person from your own company? If you're going to have such a grand ceremony, shouldn't you apologize to Emma? It's selfish to invite me and her father to the wedding without making any effort like that. But Emma has been ignoring me all this time, Liam interjected defensively. Of course she has. After what you've done, it's only natural, my mother retorted sharply. But that's all in the past, isn't it? Do you think her wounds will heal in just 3 years? Do you think you can regain our trust in such a short time? Don't be ridiculous. My mother concluded with finality. After those words, my mother angrily left the venue with my father. I could hear her voice from the cell phone. Did you see that, Emma? Yes, I replied quietly. I'm sorry for reminding you of painful things. I just can't stand seeing those two act like nothing happened. No, thank you. I feel relieved. It's like you said everything I wanted to say. That's right, Emma. You always keep everything to yourself. I thought it was just too kind of you to not tell your colleagues the reason for your divorce. After that, my mother sent me a recording of her conversation with Liam during the wedding. Indeed, as my mother said, even if time passes, it's not easy to forget. Moreover, Liam showed no signs of remorse whatsoever, calling it a thing of the past. I decided to begin my second life by giving Liam a fitting punishment. I chose to confront him during a company presentation. The opportunity arose during a company-wide presentation where volunteers from various departments could participate. Swiftly signing up, I entered the conference room. When it was Liam's turn to speak, his supervisor, unaware of his remarriage, commented, "Liam, you seem even more motivated today. Must be because you just got married." "Yes, I will do my best for my family," Liam replied, sounding genuinely happy. He should have known I was present, but that only strengthened my resolve. I played the recorded audio I received from my mother. The sudden noise from the audio surprised the participants, but as they learned about Liam's affair with my sister after marrying me, accusations began to fly. "Liam, didn't you claim the reason for our divorce was a difference in values?" I couldn't help but laugh. "Oh, really? Well, I can't understand a value that involves cheating with your own wife's sister." I apologize for bringing personal matters into this important presentation, I continued. As of today, I have decided to resign. I have tolerated being in this company because I value it, but I can no longer work in the same place as him. As I moved to leave, the board members intervened to stop me. "Wait a minute, Emma," one of them spoke up. "You're an invaluable asset to our company. If anyone should leave, it should be Liam." "But I've always been seen as having a promising future here," I protested. "We had high expectations for you in the past, but lately, your performance has declined. Your focus has waned, and it seems you've lost the problem-solving abilities you once had," another board member explained. Meanwhile, Kate, who had been incompetent with household chores even when living with her parents, became a full-time housewife after marrying Liam. She left most of the housework to him, causing him stress at work. Unable to offer him the support I once could, his performance suffered further. News of his affair with his wife's sister spread throughout the company, tarnishing his reputation. During the board meeting, it was decided that I would stay at the company while Liam would be transferred to a remote location with the likelihood of being laid off in the future. Kate, who had enjoyed a comfortable life as a housewife with Liam's support, abandoned him when she discovered his financial troubles. She moved on to another man, only to find out he was a freeloader burdened with debts. Now, she works 2 jobs day and night to make ends meet. As the saying goes, what goes around comes around. Watching Liam and Kate struggle, I finally felt ready to start anew. 3.5